Buenos dias, darlings. How are you doing today? I'm going to talk about my mum today, my mama. She's coming to my awareness all day yesterday. She's just been with me. And it's more about the stories she used to tell me when I was little. She was a great storyteller. And even my cousin said that when they were all living back in the village in Hong Kong, before everyone emigrated to England, they used to love working with my mum in the fields because she used to tell them stories and she was the best storyteller. And yeah, one of her stories, it's still in my blood, in my bones. She used to tell it to me when I was about 3. I used to sit on this little wooden stool by her feet in the chippy in Manchester while she was preparing the food for the shop, and she was just tell me these stories, and I used to go in this trance. And I remember the little wooden stool, her telling me the story, the timbre of her voice, yeah, the soothingness of her voice and the words washing over me. And then at the end of it, she always used to make me a little bowl of something, noodles, dumplings, fish, whatever it was that she was preparing. And that was our little ritual. And this story, I mean, it's all in our language. I'm actually Hatgar. Hatgar means guest family in our language, and we're nomadic. We're indigenous tribe on the borders of Hong Kong and China, and it was all in our native language. And so I can still remember, and when I went to see her in Hong Kong, she actually told me the story again, and I was just like amazed. I was like, what? But of course, being older, the story seemed shorter. And I was like, to me, when I was 3, the story just stretched on for hours because I was so mesmerized by it. And anyway, it feels like something in me wants to share this story with you. Something in me wants to continue my mum's legacy of being an oral storyteller. And something in me wants to honour my ancestors and want to honour our tradition of sharing stories by talking about it. Because our tribe, the ways, I think, are slowly dying as modern life, as different populations take over. I mean, even in my little family, I mean, I still speak Hatgar fluently, which is amazing given I don't speak it at all unless I'm at home with my family. And even then, most of us speak English, and it's only my dad. My mum passed in 2016. And my nephews, I think, is the last generation that still speaks fluent Hatgar. I mean, obviously I'm not going to speak it to you now, but the spirit of my people's language, the spirit of my mum, and the spirit of storytelling I hope you feel in the tale I'm about to share with you now. There's going to be some embellishments as I translate it into English. So all those mispronunciations or mistelling is all mine. It's all mine. So if you're sitting comfortably, I might have to close my eyes while I conjure it up, and we shall begin. There once used to be a farmer who lived with his 3 daughters. The youngest daughter was the fairest and the purest of heart, and because of that, she was loved the most. The father loved her, the wind loved her, the sun loved her, the gods loved her, and because of that, the 2 oldest daughters used to pick on her relentlessly. They'd give her the most heinous jobs on the farm, chopping wood, feeding the pigs. They give her the scraps to eat from the dinner table, the fish bones, the gravel at the bottom of the rice barrel, and they would make her work for morning, noon and night, whilst they just lounged about enjoying being the farmer's daughters. Nonetheless, the youngest daughter did all her work with joy in her heart, with purity and innocence, and this incensed her oldest sisters. "What is wrong with her?" they was mumbled to each other. "She must be mentally ill," they said. "Let's follow her," they said to one another. "Let's see what she gets up to. She can't be smiling like this all the time. It's not natural." So the next morning they got up really early, earlier than they used to getting up when the sun was just peeking out of the mountains. They went to the pigsty where their youngest sister slept, and they saw third daughter get up and stretch and greet the sun. "Good morning, sun," she said. "Good morning, pigs," she sang, and all the other farmyard animals snuffled and wandered over to her feet because they all loved her so. They saw third sister walk towards the goose, who was a wild, ferocious creature who hated everyone but third daughter. "Hello, goosey, goosey," she crooned as she stroked its downy neck. "Have you got a gift for me?" And the goose allowed itself to be stroked so, and then plop, it popped out a warm goose egg, ready for third daughter's breakfast. "Thank you, goose," bowed third daughter, and she picked up the egg, still warm in her hand. She cracked it open gently on a rock and drank up the delicious yolk inside. "Oh, that was delicious," she said. "I'm ready for my work now." She then went to the field, with her two older sisters following at a distance, and she started ploughing the field ready for the harvest that year. The soil yielded to her touch, just turning over like butter. All the crickets and the insects sang to her while she worked, and the wind caressed her neck so that she wouldn't get too hot, and the sun made sure not to burn her with its rays. As she worked, she sang to the wind, she sang to the sun, she sang to the gods, and the morning passed in joy and revelry. The two older sisters watched aghast. How can she be so happy doing such hard work? There's something not right in her head. As they sweltered and sweated under the sun's rays, the sun didn't control its power when they shone over the two ugly sisters. "Oh, this is getting too hot," said second sister. "I want to go home," she grumbled. "No, no, no," said older sister. "Let's wait a while and see what that crazy girl is up to." After a while, at midday, third daughter trotted over to a banyan tree to sit underneath its shade while she ate her meagre lunch of a fishbone and some scraps of rice that was left over from yesterday's dinner that she had wrapped in a banana leaf. After she finished, she crooned to the banyan tree, "Thank you, banyan tree, for your shade. Have you got a gift for me?" And the banyan tree shook its leaves, psh, as if it was singing, and slowly it dropped down some leaves of gold for third daughter. "Thank you, banyan tree," she said, as she tucked it under her cheek and had an afternoon nap. Her oldest sister, looking from afar, was absolutely aghast. "Can you believe that? That old withered banyan tree gave her gold leaves. What? We need some of that," cried both of them in unison. "Indeed, indeed," said oldest sister. "Let's see what that witch is up to next." After a while, third daughter got up, stretched. She had such a gorgeous sleep, dreaming of tiger lilies and butterflies, and she felt thirsty, so she decided to go to the riverbank to quench her thirst. There she saw the bed of rushes, and she said to them, "Hello, my darlings, rushes. Have you got a gift for me?" And the rushes whispered and whispered and sang their song to her, and they parted their leaves, and in amongst the bed of the rushes there was a golden basket that they had woven for her, made out of rushes and willow. Third daughter opened the basket, and inside there were 3 fishes ready for that night's supper. "Oh, thank you, rushes, thank you," she said, as she walked home to cook that night's supper. She prepared the rice, she cooked the fish, and she gave one to her beloved father and 2 to her to her sisters, who ate it grumpily, saying, there's not enough salt. It could have done with more flavour." In the evening, after third daughter had gone to the pigsty to go to bed, the 2 sisters colluded with each other and said, let's tell you what, let's tell her to go to the market tomorrow, and then we'll go and visit the goose and the tree and the rushes and see whether they will leave us gifts. Yes, that's a good idea," said second sister. "Let's do that." So the next morning, they sent third daughter off to town, off to the market to go and buy provisions. "Don't come back until you've got everything on the list," they demanded, "and make sure you get the best price." "Yes, sisters," said third daughter demurely, as she went off. They watched her and made sure that she had turned the corner of the hill before they rushed first to the goose, clack, clack, clacking with their big clumsy feet. Hello goose, have you got a present for us?" they crowed. But the goose just hissed and snarled at them, snapping at their legs and snapping at their shoulders. "Ow, ow," they said, "don't you dare do that." And they ran off, not having one present at all, but bruises on their necks, on their arms, on their feet, where the goose had attacked them. "Okay, well, that doesn't matter," said oldest sister. "It's the tree that's the treasure." So they ran to the tree and went up to it and shook its branches. Banyan tree, have you got a gift for us?" And the banyan tree started rustling its leaves as if it was going to drop something to them, and plop, 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 it dropped big splats of poop all over their faces, all over their hair, all over their clothes. "No, no, no," shrieked the sisters in dismay and distress. "How dare you, tree? Wait until tomorrow. We're going to chop you for firewood." And they ran to the river. "Quick, quick, let's get clean. Let's clean ourselves of all this stinky smelling shit." They cleaned themselves in the river, and then they said in exhaustion, "Rushes, have you got a gift for us?" And the rushes parted their bed, and inside there was a woven boat. "Oh, thank goodness, finally someone with some sense and giving us a present," crowed the sisters. And in the distance they heard a noise, and it was the goose, screeching and hissing and still angry with them for disturbing its peace earlier on. "Quick, quick, let's get in the boat and escape from that brute. We'll have it for dinner tomorrow," said the sisters. And they pushed themselves from the river bank and sailed down the river away from the hissing goose. What they didn't know was that around the bend was a big waterfall. So as they were crowing and celebrating that they had escaped the ugly goose, they went round the bend of the river gently and fell to their deaths. Later on in the afternoon, third sister came back from the market. She had brought lots of delicious food with the golden leaves. She cooked it up and she laid out a banquet, ready for her sisters to return and for her father and her, so that they could all eat. After a while, the sisters hadn't returned, so the father said, "Beloved daughter, let's eat this. You've made this, you deserve to eat. Without them being here to bully you, you can have your share at the table." So they sat down, the father and the daughter, and had a peaceful meal together for the first time in the third daughter's lives. And for the rest of the day, they lived in peace, in harmony, in joy. And the gods and the spirits rained down blessings on third daughter because her heart was pure and they loved her so. The end.